What's going on, Built by Bai team? Thank you for checking out this week's Bendy with Bai stretch class. Today we're going to be doing a hip class, and you guys, if I share the bloopers of this class, it is going to be comical, very comical. But anyways, like I said, we're going to be working on our hips, and more specifically our hip rotators, which is something that we really don't use a whole ton in our day-to-day life in the complex ways that they are meant to move. And so with this class, kind of some common feelings that you might be experiencing, especially in your hips. You might have some cramping, you might have some pinching, especially if you haven't really been stretching this way. I'm going to give you modifications, but a lot of it is going to come down to how well you're breathing, how well in control are we staying of our central nervous system to help us avoid those crampy, pinchy feelings. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this. It's going to be called our 90-90 hip class. Okay, so the position that we're going to be in for pretty much all of these stretches is going to be what's called a 90-90 stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we are positioned on our butt, and then our legs are going to be in a 90 degree position. So we're 90 here, we're 90 here, we're 90 here. If this is already feeling pretty intense for you, you can go to like a 45-45. This is going to take the pressure out of being too intense with that 90-90 if it's too much. But as you advance, let's kind of work on getting back to that 90-90 position. Now, even sitting here, you might feel some stretching going on that hip. I feel a lot of mine right here in this front part of my leg. And so to get us started, we're just going to take some big deep breaths, sitting up nice and tall, and we want to be able to get our muscles to relax into this position. Because if you don't sit like this, if you're not stretching these muscles consistently, they're going to lock up and they're going to want to go into protection mode when they are stretched. Like I literally just felt like a release in my leg of like my muscles just said like, oh, I don't have to protect myself. I'm not going to get hurt, because with these new movements, with these new stretches, your body will like automatically just kick on that protective response. So sitting up nice and tall, just kind of get used to it. Decide if 45-45 is going to be better or if 90-90 is better. And just big deep breaths. In through our nose and out through our mouth. We want to make sure that we're getting as much oxygen to our muscles as possible to signify that like relaxed response, to not feel like we're like tensing, holding throughout the stretch. So whatever side you kind of warmed up first, that is a-okay. I want us to go ahead and rotate to the other side. I kind of have to like position. This bench is a lot smaller than the ones that I have been doing these stretch classes on. But again, you want to make sure you're at 90 degrees with your legs. Each one is at 90 degrees. And then even like into your groin, you want to make sure you're 90 degrees there. Again, you might feel some stretches, like some deep stretches going on in this hip complex. So sitting up nice and tall, just big deep breaths in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Ideally, like an ideal count for those breaths is going to be in for 4, out for 4. My family has also had mad allergies, so like if I sound super nasally, it's because I am, so my breath might be a little shortened today compared to others. Beautiful. So again, we want to, anywhere you feel like you're clenching, we want to let go. I know for me, I like to clench through here, and so it is like being intentional about like, let it go. I know it's weird, and it kind of takes some getting used to, but that's kind of like the first step to like making really good progress in your flexibility, your mobility, decreasing pain in your joints and things like that, is just teaching your body to not tense up and protect itself all the time, which is like what we do. Everyone does. That's like step number 1 that I've worked with my stretch clients. But anyways, let's go ahead. We're going to shift back to our other side, sitting in that 90-90 position. Shake it out for a second. I know that's like not easy on the hips by any means, but like I said, these are going to be movements and stretches that we're not typically getting throughout our day-to-day life. We utilize our hips a lot, like when we're bending, when we're standing, when we're walking, everything kind of comes down to our hips. If you're sitting at a desk job all day, that's going to lock up your hips. So that's why we want to make sure we're stretching them in these complex ways. It's going to decrease back pain, knee pain. It's going to make you move better through your day-to-day like functional stuff, like carrying your kids, picking up groceries, putting your shoes on, your socks on, like literally anything like that. It's really important to make sure that we are well balanced in our range of motion that way. So this is going to be a great class for literally everyone. I don't think there's going to be any pros when it comes to this class, because I literally stretch for a living, and this is tough for me. So again, take a big deep breath. We're going to go start off with 90-90 push-ups or 45-45 if that's what's going to be better for you. Where I'm on a smaller bench today, I'm going to go to 45-45, but we're going to lean over our front leg. I'm working on my right leg first, if that helps like keep us on track. But then just putting one hand down here by your ankle, one hand out here on the side of your knees. We're going to go ahead and push down. Take a big deep breath. Exhale, push up. Go ahead and follow along with your own breath on these ones. Move through the positioning as you need to. And make sure with it that you're not clenching, tightening up. We're wanting to release those muscles. So notice kind of where you're feeling this one the most. I know for me, I feel this into my piriformis here on the outside of my right leg. I also feel it in these hip rotators in my left leg as I'm going up and down. Go ahead and give me 3 more of these push-ups. Down, up, inhale, go down, exhale, come up. Last one, best one, we're going to do a slight hold here at the bottom. Anywhere you're clenching, let go, pop back up. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and just do like one side at a time before rotating to our other one. So now we're going to do a 45-45, 90-90 twist. So we're going to turn into our legs on this one. Go ahead and grab here behind your right glute. Get a nice little twist. You might feel that up into your spine. You might feel this on the inside of your legs, even here into the back of the glute a bit. And again, I know with this class, like especially when I've practiced it, even once I do get those muscles to relax, sometimes like I'll feel it like just want to tense up again, and it's just releasing. So when I say tense up or flex, you want to just let it, like how if you were laying in bed. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and turn the other way, and this is going to put it very heavy heat into like this position here as we twist away from our legs to the right. Good. Big deep breaths here. Give me about 3 to 4 breaths here. Good. Beautiful. Come back to center again. We're staying in this position throughout the entirety of the side before we switch to the other one. This next one is going to be the 90-90 mermaid. So you're going to plop that hand behind you again, just directly behind your glute by your left leg. We're going to take this arm overhead and give us a good stretch. And again, a lot of these stretches are going to be in that rear leg, even into your back, into your spine, into your side. Go ahead and lengthen through your right side. Anywhere you're clenching, let it go. Give me 3 more breaths. If you are clenching and you're feeling tighter in these stretches, you might have more of that cramping, pinching going on. So breathing's going to be huge. Modifying to 45-45 if you need. And relax. Beautiful. Come to center, shake it out nice and tall. Now on these ones, we are going to do some not so fun stretches. This one's going to be tough. Again, we're going to be working on this back leg, and if that's feeling tight, you can go ahead and shake your legs out for a second as I kind of demo this next one. But I want us to wake up these muscles on the inside of our leg. So this is going to be our adductor, our groin. I want us to, we're still sitting in that 90-90 position, but we can kind of take some of our weight off through leaning over our right leg. We're going to drive our knee down into the bench, pushing with about, try to push like 60-70% of your power to just really get those muscles activated here on the inside, just because we are going to be utilizing them for this next part of the stretch class. So driving down for about 3, 2, 1, unclench there. Now we're going to do some foot lifts here. These are tough ones. So you're going to barely lift up. Again, it's going to be activating that muscle. Oh, and you might cramp like I am. I got to do these ones more. This is exactly why I wanted to do this class. But if that's feeling really tough, you can shift more of your weight forward. You can even press into that muscle that is cramping and pinching just to kind of help avoid that feeling. But again, we're just doing small little lifts here through our rear foot. Good. And again, it's going to be activating these deep hip rotators that are brutal. Big deep breaths, you guys. This is such a tough class. I have yet to do this class without cramping and pinching, so I know it's one I need some more. Holy, especially on this left hip. But go ahead, sitting back in that position. Give me 3 more leg lifts. Good. 1. And it doesn't have to be super high. Even if you're just barely getting your foot off, that's totally fine. It's still activating those muscles. It's still going to be strengthening that hip complex. So good. After that third one, we're going to go ahead and rest. If you need to shake out your legs for a second, you can. Go ahead, shift that weight forward if you need to. The more forward we are, the less pressure it's going to be into our hip and the less activation. But we're going to go ahead and do a hold till failure. So big deep breaths. We're going to be lifting up that foot. Lift it, lift it. And I'm cramping, got to shake out. But if you're still holding it, good. Activate it. This is going to be a good one as we are stretching out our hip rotators, and then what we're going to be doing is also strengthening them through those activations. It's going to help us get away from that crampy pinchy feeling that we just aren't used to, because a lot of our motions are not utilizing that muscle, especially if we're working a desk job. They're very underrated. So beautiful. After that, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. The left leg is going to be in that 90-90 position, or 45-45, whatever's more comfortable for you. Coming down, we're going to go ahead and do those push-ups. Let's do, I don't know how many we did on the other side. I never count. I just going to go for a good, when we feel balanced. But let's go ahead and just start moving through that motion. Remember, we're inhaling on as we're going down. Exhale, pop up. Good. And anywhere you feel like you're clenching within your legs, within your glutes, your hips, relax it. This side is so much easier for me. And you kind of might notice that with yourself, that you might be tighter on one side, which might lead to more cramping, pinching feelings. So again, this might be your better side. I know this for sure feels a lot less intense for me. Good. Go ahead and give me 3 more. I don't know where we're at, but we are definitely getting there. Good. Last one, best one. Big inhale. Exhale, pop up. Good. Setting up nice and tall in this one. Now we're going to go into that twist. So first we're going to twist away from our legs. So we're going to pull back behind us. Right hand goes behind our right glute, and just go ahead and twist open, creating a nice little twist throughout our spine, I guess. Good. You might feel that here. I know I definitely do. Again, when we're facing our left, we're actually going to be more so stretching that right leg. And it's crazy. This leg kind of feels a little tingly. I know I got some more good blood flow going to the area. So now we just got to get this side caught up. If you can twist a little deeper into that stretch, go ahead and do that now, before we take it the other way to stretch more of that internal hip flex, hip rotators. Again, if you feel like you're clenching, tightening, let it go. Like another one, especially as we are twisting, activating this way, we kind of want to clench up here in our rear legs. So just big deep breaths, let it go. Let that knee relax, the hip relax. As you're taking these big inhales, big exhales, try to twist a little bit more into the stretch. Again, that's what's going to be lengthening it. Give me 2 more breaths here. I feel like I really suck looking at the camera recently. I've been like closing my eyes during all of these stretch classes, but it's just because they're so relaxing and peaceful. Beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and do that activation where we're going to drive our leg down into the bench. So if you need to shift your weight forward to kind of take the pressure off of this external side of our, like the outside of our hip, go ahead and do so just by leaning forward, or you can sit up nice and tall. But we're going to drive our knee down into the bench, pushing to activate all of these inside muscles. Good. Might get a little shaky just with like the amount of force that we're trying to push into the bench. But again, we want to wake up all these muscles. So drive your knee, drive your ankle, try to drive down into the floor of the bench, whatever surface that you're on, just to wake up those muscles. Go ahead and push for 5, 4, push a little harder, 3, 2, 1, relax. Good. Try to get all of those muscles to turn off, because if we try to jump too fast into these little leg lifts, it's going to create more of that cramping, pinching feeling. But we're going to go ahead and just start off with those leg lifts. If you need to shift your weight forward to do it, that's okay. Maybe we're not completely even on both sides yet, that we do need to take some pressure off, and that is a-okay. Good. Go ahead and activate, lifting up. I feel a cramp wanting to come up on this side. And I'm just taking some big deep breaths, applying pressure into where that cramping area is, and doing those activations. You can even feel, like, especially if you start to push on an area, if you are cramping or pinching, you can feel what muscles we're activating. And these are going to be a big accessory muscle, especially during a lot of like the exercises. If you're doing the Built by Bai program, like our squats, our lunges, bridges, all of these are going to be utilizing these muscles, but these ones specifically get neglected from like stretching and strengthening. So that's where these classes are going to come into play. Go ahead and give me 3 more good ones. Trying to lift that leg up as much as we can. If you can sit back more into the position, do so. Okay, last one, best one. We're going to do a hold on this one. Hold until failure. Let me go ahead and let go of that muscle. Let it do as it needs. Give me 3 more seconds. 2, 1, released. Shift it forward, kind of move around. You can straighten out your legs, shake out any tightness you kind of have going on before we just come back to sitting in that 45-45 or 90-90 position. Good. We'll take a second before we're going to do that 90-90, 45-45 mermaid. Right hand goes behind us, and we're going to send that left arm overhead, creating a nice stretch throughout here. Might feel into your back and even into this rear leg. Big inhales, big exhales. But I hope you guys are really enjoying these classes. I know for me, my body truly has never felt better, and that's saying something. Like, guys, this is like the heaviest weight, not the heaviest weight, but like peak performance wise, a heavier weight than my body is typically used to. I'm not playing sports as much as I used to. I'm not like in that athlete phase of my life anymore. But I can honestly say this is the best I've ever felt, even pushing myself with my weights and my weights and workouts. And it's just coming from incorporating stretching and intentional stretching into my program more. That's customized to these like weaker areas. So appreciate you doing these classes with me. Love to hear if you are enjoying them. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with friends. That means the world to me. That's how we're going to grow and help more people. Go ahead and shake it out. We were in that one for a long time. But truly, if you incorporate stretching and mobility work into your health and fitness routine, I can guarantee you will never feel better. You're never going to, you're going to move so much better in your day-to-day life, and saying this from experience. So incorporate these more. And even in the Built by Bai workouts, if you're doing those as well, you're going to start seeing more mobility training incorporated into our strength training to just make it more functional and dynamic. So really excited to start rolling out those. But let's see where we're at. Beautiful. We did everything we needed to, the activations, the holds. Go ahead. We're going to come into a straight leg position, shake out those hips, because again, we worked on hip rotators. Now I want us to just let them relax. We're going to be sitting in a straight-legged position. If you need to come into a more bent position, that's totally fine, but big deep breaths. Exhale. We're going to take one more inhale and then go into a forward fold. Go ahead and send it forward. Grab your toes, maybe your shins, maybe even just behind your knees. But find a comfortable position for you to just help all of these posterior muscles relax. We're going to let our body be heavy. It's like a nice little cool down stretch because, like I said, I know that's not the most fun one, but it is so important, especially if you're dealing with back pain, with hip pain. If you're an athlete doing these classes, guys, that is like the number one reason I tore my ACL was from not taking care of my hips. They were so chronically tight, so chronically weak that my knees just couldn't take it anymore. And so that's where you're going to run into injuries. So no matter where you're at in your health and fitness journey, if you're more transitioned into parenthood, adulthood, and just wanting to take care of your body from a functional standpoint, if you're an athlete and you want to have a long, healthy career and perform better, anything like that, you have to make sure that you're incorporating strengthening, like your strength training and your flexibility mobility work. This is something I neglected for a long time. I ran into injuries, I ran into pain. Yoga was never my thing, so I could never make it stick. So that's why I kind of like going about it more in the stretching route, is it's more It's for the ones that necessarily aren't yogis, because I'm definitely not a yogi. So, and that is a-okay. But go ahead and give me 2 more big breaths here. Make them your biggest ones. Exhale, 1 more. Beautiful. Okay, come to a seated position. Take any last minute stretches that you're needing. Thank you for doing this stretch class. Thank you for our new change of scenery. Lots of new changes coming for Built by Bai, Bendy with Bai. I appreciate you guys supporting my small little business. This is how I'm supporting my family and just wanting to help more people make this healthy habits a little easier and a lot more fun for our team. So I'm grateful for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, the support, the shares. It means the absolute world to me. I also have one-on-one assisted stretching going on. If you were local to Utah, specifically the Lehigh area, reach out to me and we can get something scheduled. But again, thank you for doing this stretch class with me. I'm so grateful for you. Can't wait to get bendy with you next time. We'll see you.